Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. You know, my favorite part of the Olympics is hearing all of the national anthems. I'm a big fan of country music. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Unfathomable From the Abyss expansion from Fantasy Flight Games. Unfathomable From the Abyss from Fantasy Flight Games is an expansion to your Unfathomable game. This comes with new monsters, new cards, and a lot of crazy, scary adventure. Now, first of all, as I say, there's a lot of new components and cards that come with this game. You get two new skill cards of each. You get a whole new skill card deck called Boons. Boons always act as a positive when they are played in the skill checks. Now, you have 8 new character cards to choose from in this game, and you also have a new Keeper of the Tome title card and a new Captain title card. You're also going to get new item cards, new damage cards, new waypoint cards, new spell cards, and new mythos cards as well. Now, one of the things you're going to do at the beginning of this game is you're going to remove all of the personal crisis cards, personal mythos cards from the mythos deck, and remove any that, of course, are not, the characters are not in the game. And for those characters that are in the game, you're going to place that card face down next to you. Then at some point in the game, if you draw a personal crisis card on your turn, then you will reveal that card, and that's when you will get it done. That way, all of those other cards are not just clogging up the deck. Now, you're also going to have new horrors, new monsters in this game, and you're going to get a deck of those cards. This deck will also have a standee that you place on it, and the top of the card also acts as a track, and as you get closer to the end of that track, you will spawn new horrors. Now, one other thing you have here are allies. You'll have an ally deck. Now, allies are special people that are going to be coming onto the deck at various times. For instance, whenever you rescue passengers, you're going to place an ally card on their space. But other game effects can spawn allies as well. Now, if you're in a space with an ally, you can discard a number of skill cards to be able to do exactly whatever that particular action on that ally says it will. Then, if you do that, you roll a die to determine where on the ship that ally is going to go to next. If ever a monster comes into the same space as an ally or there's damage, that ally will flee, meaning he'll go back into the ally deck, which will be shuffled. Allies can also be defeated. If they're outside, when a ritual track goes off, then they are removed from the game. Now here, passengers can also go into water spaces. You can actually try to rescue them from water spaces. You can rescue all the passengers on a deck space with one action, but you can only rescue, of course, one passenger in the water. Now, as I mentioned, you've got 3 new monsters here in the game. You've got the Shoggoth, you've got the Grasping Tendril, and you've got the Drowned Spirit. Now, these various monsters can appear at various times when you reach the end of the horror track, and they will activate off of some of the cards that you have integrated into the Mythos deck. Now, like the Tendril, for instance, he's always in water, but since he has a Tendril coming up on deck, he essentially occupies a water space and a deck space at the same time. Now, the thing about these new horrors is they are not easy to kill. In fact, they're impossible to kill. Unlike deep ones that you can attack and fight, these guys, you can attack them, and if you're successful, you simply repel them. You move them back. You can also discard skill cards to move them back one more space if you want. But you can't just kill them the way you can kill other deep ones. The only thing that's going to get them off the board is if you go through the ritual. The ritual, of course, will clear the board. Of course, if they're at the end of the ship, the seas, you can go past them too by moving on the voyage track. And the game also comes with Prelude cards, and this is an interesting way to set up your game to kind of keep it from starting the same way every time. Essentially, you have daylight Prelude cards, you have twilight Prelude cards, and you have evening twilight cards, night twilight cards. And essentially, what you can do is you can draw one card from each, meaning with daylight, something that will help the humans. Twilight, something that's neutral, can help either side, and then night, something that will favor the hybrids. Now, you can also game that to start the game to put the heroes in a more advantageous position, or you can do it to, of course, put the hybrid in a more advantageous position, although why you would want to do that, I don't know, because the game is already incredibly hard for the humans. We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review. Now that is basically what you're getting with this expansion. There's some more going on here. I'm not getting really into a lot of the details of the specific cards here because they do contain new actions and new adventures. I don't want to spoil things, but also at the same time, there's just a lot of new content here. I like this expansion a lot because it does what good expansion should do, and that is it adds in a lot of new and fun stuff without really gumming up the system, without overwhelming the system. Essentially, this game has just a lot of new card decks that are interesting, new characters that are interesting, and then of course the Mythos cards do work in conjunction with the new horrors. The horrors are really kind of the biggest advent here, although the allies are important as well. But there's enough new stuff here and enough good stuff that it really is going to help keep the game fresh and replayable, particularly with the Prelude cards. Like I say, you can do setup different every time you play it, so that's a lot of fun as well. But all told, I'm a big fan. We actually played this the other night. We played a 5-player game with the expansion, and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. We really got into it for, I think, most of them. This is actually the first time playing Unfathomable. They hadn't played it without the expansion, and they all really enjoyed it. I myself have played Unfathomable, the base game, several times, and to me, I think this expansion is just more good stuff and some really fun new rules with the horrors and some of the allies and other things, and the preludes. Really like this expansion. So on the Cody scale, I'm actually going to give this expansion an 8 out of 10. I think it is a lot of fun. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, I ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. I'd ask you to please give a thumb to this video on YouTube and on Board Game Geek. And if you're so inclined, I'd ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history, books on history, fun things like that. It would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe to that channel as well. And if you really do appreciate the content we bring you on this channel, I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. You know, the other day I saw that my check engine light was on. But don't worry, I opened the hood and it's still there.
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
Back to the deep.
We made, and then we do lose souls.
Uh-oh.
2 souls.
Oh man.
Oh. What about these guys?
We're down.
Yeah, we lose these guys too.
Oh, my
3
God.
souls and a sanity.
Well, 1 soul in insanity.
Oh.
No, 1,
Each
2,
one's-
3.
Oh, I saw.
Right.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant.
So
3
we
more.
lost. What were we
So
at?
we're at 1
We
now.
were at 4.
Yeah,
Oh,
1 soul.
gosh. Yikes.
That goes up 1.
Yo, dude. Slow
man.
down.
Okay, so we
slow
can't
down.
lose
What
any
about
more
these guys
souls.
on here? Is they?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh
No,
no!
no.
Oh,
That's
game. All right. Hold on. All right, we're gonna do this. You were the first player.
I was.
So go ahead. You reveal your first card. You had at the beginning of the game. Your first loyalty card. The one you had at the beginning of the game. You were a human. All right. Second one.
And as a human,
Okay. Go ahead. Your first
I
one.
lose.
Human. Second one.
Treacherous.
Human. All right. First one.
Yeah.
Oh! Second one.